Hey, Kath.
Hi, Noelle.
I know that teachers have just gotten another thing to teach. A long list. There's so much that we do. And now they say we have to teach the social emotional learning standards.
I know.
When am I going to do that? I'm Noelle Hoffmeister.
And I'm Kathy D'Alessandro.
We're with Get Up and Teach. Join us every Wednesday where you'll get a video about how emotions and education come together. Like, subscribe, comment, and share us with a colleague. This is our passion and we love to do it. Today we're talking about how we can best teach the SELs so they have impact. We'll start with the idea of what the SELs are not and then move into how to integrate them into our day.
So the reality is we need to understand what SELs are not. They're not on there. It's not an add-on. It's not an add-on. Something that we can just kind of put off to the side and hope that our kids become healthy, adjusted learners and young adults.
And it's not because I'm a nice teacher and ask you, how was your weekend? Did you win your ball game, etc. That's not SELs either.
No, that's just being nice.
And it's not, even if my school does buy a curriculum, it's not 15 to 20 minutes with a coloring sheet talking about my feelings, but then never applying that to the rest of my day.
Correct. So I guess what we have to do is understand what it looks like. What would it look like? So I'm a math teacher, and quite often there is a lot of emotion around mathematics. When I think of SELs, and I think of the three buckets, when I talk about mathematics, when I am working with kids, might be different than a language teacher who deals with SELs. But at the same time, we're both dealing with this content. So things get hard, and things get hard really quick. Twice a week, when a warm-up or a problem's on the board, there could be something as simple as, tell me what you're feeling right now. What does that look like? What is it? How's your neck? What's your shoulders doing? What's your body doing? Are you feeling in this? Tell me why. Do you know what you're solving for? How do you know what you don't know what you're solving for? Is it okay to be struggling in the uncertainty of not knowing? Then giving them an opportunity to talk through the fear of not knowing or not knowing how to start, because that fear of how to start even a problem shuts down the learning before it even starts.
That's right.
So it's the deep breaths, it's the rolling of the shoulders, it's going, okay, so tell me what you do know.
Right. And even the communication, if I communicate that I am afraid, that reduces my anxiety.
Classroom culture is key. You have to have an environment where this can happen and where you have to own your own fears. Quite often in my classroom, I'm the one that doesn't know very much, and I'm the one that always asks, like, well, I don't know if I have the right answer here. And it's not that I don't, as much as I'm just trying to model uncertainty. So when I talk about SELs, I'm much more in the intra, where it's about themselves and they're reflecting on the emotions of learning. And then the other one that I tend to focus on a lot is when they are working with someone else, how to ask for help and how to participate without giving the answers. So those two areas I tend to focus on a lot.
I focus on the intra in terms of, we're going to talk about X, we're going to read about X, we're going to write about X. How does your past experience with X, how will that help or hinder you from being successful? So if I say, we're going to write a narrative, right? And some kid has had a really bad experience writing a narrative, he got a bad grade, etc., or her, and automatically I can't do that.
Right.
I didn't do well last time. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I need them to be aware of that.
Yep.
And so really my job is just the probing and the digging. I can't give them any information because it's all schema. But if I probe and I dig and I make them aware that the negativity is working against them and is not helping them learn, in fact is doing the opposite, then I can get them to consider that, to talk about that, and we can move on.
In mathematics, a little added in that piece is scaffolding to back them up to where they know. So here's where you were. Here's where we are. So the emotion of the unknown is where they shut down.
And to remember the memory, to be aware of it. Because often our emotions happen and we don't even know why.
Right.
I hate writing. Why? I just hate it.
Right.
Why?
I hate math.
I just hate it.
It's dumb.
Right? But if we keep
What?
probing and we say, why? Because I don't do good at it. Right? Why? Because I'm just not good. Why? Because I get bad grades. Why? Like if we keep asking the why, we can get down to, I don't know, because my mom said she was never good.
Yeah.
Or we can get down to, because my grades are never good, I just refuse to study now because they were never, like we can get down to it.
And there's a window of dialogue in a classroom. Grades 3 through 5, I think, are super pivotal. Just a shout out for all of you upper elementary teachers. Like, this is SEL. This is incorporating it in your dialogue.
Because in 3rd grade, isn't that when developmentally I figure out where everybody is? What does that mean for me? And I start to identify where I am in this pecking order of smarts. And then based on that, I'm going to develop some kind of opinion on myself, which is going to be my self-fulfilling prophecy for how I perform.
So that we've created a PDF that you can download and you can use for different ways to help increase your SELs and critical thinking skills at the same time.
Ooh.
In content area.
Thanks so much for thinking with us today. We love this. This is our jam. Would you please like, subscribe, and share us with a colleague? Head to our website, www.getupandteach.com, where you find more resources, including our fantastic digital read-alouds that open up a dialogue about emotions of learning.